Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Chilltown Hoops. I'm your host, Jermaine. The youngsters call me OG. My friends call me J-Dub. Let's get to it. A wise man once told me, on a championship unit, when you're a champion, you got to walk a certain way. You got to talk a certain way. You got to carry yourself a certain way. Because you have the belt. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. You got to make it clear. This is where the belt is. If you want it, come get it. All challenges are welcome. And that's how the Golden State Warriors have to carry themselves. We're the champs. So we're going to expect everybody's best shot every night. There are going to be no nights off in the NBA simply because we are the champs. And because of that, we have to bring our best effort every night. So when I'm watching them last night against the Phoenix Suns, the effort was there, no question about that. But I've always felt like with that Phoenix Suns unit, I even felt like this last year. I thought that was a bad matchup for the Golden State Warriors. Number one, Steph Curry struggles with length and athleticism, particularly with Mikal Bridges. And the reason why he struggles with Mikal Bridges is because Mikal Bridges throws him off of his rhythm. The way he throws him off his rhythm is he keeps the ball away from Curry as much as possible. He pushes Curry away from the basket. He has Curry with the basketball late in the shot clock. That doesn't mean that Curry can't score when he's late in the shot clock, but he doesn't get the shots that he's looking for when he's 24, 25 feet away from the basket late in the shot clock with Mikal Bridges at 6'6", 6'7", hounding him. They struggle in transition because he finds him. And he's a lot more physical with Steph Curry than a lot of other guys are. And I think that was the catalyst last night for taking care of Steph Curry defensively. Now, does this mean moving forward that this is Steph Curry, who only went 21 and 7 last night and 7 for 17 from the floor? No, but I do think that Mikal Bridges does a good job against him. A really good job against him. I'm watching Devin Booker and that offense, and it was humming, man. That offense was humming. Chris Paul may not be Chris Paul from 5 years ago, where he's still super athletic and blowing by guys, but he's efficient enough where he can still get the spots and make shots. He can still create for other guys, and not just create for other guys, get guys in position where they can be the most efficient. I think that game should have been a lot further away than what it was. DeAndre Ayton does a great job in rim running and rim diving, and Chris Paul does a great job of getting him involved and getting him in spaces where he can be the most effective. I thought he missed a lot of shots that he could make, but I think he made up for it on the backboard while they were holding the Golden State Warriors to one shot. I mean, they held, I believe that the Golden State Warriors were -8 on the backboard against Phoenix and -4 on the offensive backboard, which is key because you can't, with the Golden State Warriors, give them second and third chance opportunities. That's not going to work. No way. So when I look at the way that they handled themselves, Torrey Craig came in and gave them good minutes, right? Devin Booker gave them, he's the catalyst, he's their catalyst on offense. He gave them good minutes. Chris Paul gave them good minutes. Ayton gave them good minutes. Shamet came in and gave them good minutes. I do not like this matchup for the Golden State Warriors. A lot of people are writing Phoenix off. I don't think Phoenix is going to win the championship, but I still think that given the right matchup, they can make a run in the playoffs. Simply because of the vet unit that they have. Not just the vet unit that they have, how effective Chris Paul is in getting guys the basketball where they need it, and him still being solid defensively. Him being solid defensively and being able to speed the game up. So when I watch Devin Booker and Klay Thompson get into it yesterday, well, what's not being talked about is, Klay Thompson at that point, he hadn't made a shot since the first quarter. Not only had he not made a shot since the first quarter, Devin Booker was giving him the business. Absolutely giving him the business. Now, when you're the champ, once again, you got to carry yourself like the champ. You got to walk like the champ. You got to talk like the champ. So you respect the fact that this is the champ that doesn't negate me competing though. It just doesn't. It doesn't take away from I'm still gonna come after you. In fact, the fact that you are the champ, that's gonna amplify me coming after you. So when I'm watching Devin Booker, who never ducked, for lack of a better term, never ducked smoke, that's when the game turned around. Because Klay Thompson, again, he hadn't made a shot since the first quarter. Devin Booker, he wasn't doing great, but he kept going after Klay. And when Klay ended up getting himself tossed, that's the turning point of the game. Because we had a lot of chippiness going on previous to that. We had Draymond balking at the officials, and then now we have Klay Thompson not only balking at Devin Booker, now we got him balking at the officials. And instead of Phoenix letting that deter them, they actually use that as fuel to let their game get enhanced. And that's exactly what happened. Devin Booker ended up, after Klay Thompson ended up getting tossed, Devin Booker ended up getting better shots. He was more efficient. They were able to speed the game up. It was almost like the air got taken out of the Golden State Warriors after that happened. I thought that they did a really good job of keeping themselves composed after that. So I don't like this matchup with the Golden State Warriors in Phoenix. I don't like this matchup for the Golden State Warriors. I think that DeAndre Ayton is going to be more effective in the future, and I think that they can be better. I think that they may be better. I think Steve Kerr is gingerly using James Wiseman, and I understand that it's early in the season, and I think that he's handling him with kid gloves where, he's easing him into the lineup. We got to get this guy more reps. We have to. Because I think he's going to be key to their success. His ability to rebound, his ability to rim run. And with his ability to rebound, his ability to rim run, similar to Ayton, that opens up the offense just because of how Golden State shoots the long ball and how he can shoot the mid-range. I think he makes them that much better. So if they could get him more involved, I think that would make them better. But I don't like this matchup between them and the Phoenix Suns. I don't like this matchup for the Golden State Warriors. I do not. Watching Dallas yesterday, I really didn't see much of a different team this season than I saw last year. In fact, I think I see a lesser team. Luka is responsible for so much of their offense. And what I mean when I say responsible, I don't mean just him scoring. I mean him distributing. I mean him playmaking. I mean him going to the stripe. All of these things are solely Luka's responsibility. They don't consistently have a guy that he can just go to for buckets on a consistent basis. They don't have a guy who can consistently create his own offense and take the load off Luka. I mean, as good as Spencer Dinwiddie is, can I count on him every night like Dame was able to count on CJ McCollum? Can I count on him every night like John Wall was able to count on Bradley Beal? Or how Kyle Lowry was able to count on DeMar DeRozan? Can I count on Spencer Dinwiddie like that? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that the Dallas Mavericks are a play-in team at best. I think they're a 7-8, right around 7-8. I think they're a play-in team, and I'm not sure if they're an early round exit because, again, when you see matchups, the game is just so much different. So when I watch Luka, his ability to get to the rim, I mean, he's unstoppable. There's really no formula for him. You can't rough him up because he can play that way. You can't push him out to the long ball line because he can stretch the defense. You can't crowd him because his ability to distribute, he's going to find open guys. And not only is he going to find open guys, he's going to make those guys even more effective. I mean, when did Christian Wood start making threes? Christian Wood comes off the bench and he's cracking threes. Well, the reason why he's cracking threes is because he's wide open. But the problem is we need everybody who does that to be effective at that. So when I get Reggie Bullock, who Luka is responsible for his offense, when I get Reggie Bullock to miss 7 out of 8 shots, that's not helping us. That's not helping us at all. Now, I already know who Reggie Bullock is, right? I know who Spencer Dinwiddie is. I know who these guys are. I know who Finney Smith is. I know who these guys are. The problem that we're having is that Luka doesn't have another guy that he can consistently go to for buckets, and they can be effective. He doesn't have that. Defensively, they actually looked really good last night. CJ McCollum, they did a good job on him, pushing him away from the basket, making him make tough shots. I thought that they did a really good job on him. Now, the rest of those guys is where the problem was with Murphy, because nobody else besides McCollum shot the ball more than 9 times. Nobody else had double-figure shot attempts except CJ. Now, those guys were making shots that they could make within the offense, and they did the best that they could in holding Dallas, particularly in the second half. And even though they got out rebounded, I thought that they did a good job on the backboard in the second half. But that's a bad loss for Dallas. No Zion, no Brandon Ingram, no Herb Jones. That's a bad loss. And it tells me a lot about who the Dallas Mavericks are. They look the same to me as they did last year. It's Luka and everybody else. And that's not a recipe for winning. So I'm liking what I'm seeing early in the NBA season. I'm really digging what I'm seeing early in the NBA season. I think this thing is just going to continue, man. I do. I think this thing is just going to continue, and I'm here. The NBA season is upon us, so you guys know where to find me, man. But until then, take it light, but take it.